Barrios is champion, so it's a good fight.
WBC champion.
Don't count Pacquiao. Everyone's counting Pacquiao out because of his age. So he's a bunch of haters, man. He still has tons of power, tons of speed, and a shitload of experience.
If Manny wins,
Push out the Robin wins, he wins at his age. Yeah, I mean, it's not. Listen, he's 45, 46. 45, 46, but he's not. He's always active. He's always staying active. He's always doing something. Mostly playing basketball and some sort of sport.
Manny Pacquiao is set to return to the ring to face Mario Barrios, and the boxing world has been buzzing with reactions to the 46-year-old legend's comeback. When Sugar Ray Leonard heard about the fight, he reflected on his own return to boxing after a 5-year hiatus. Offering advice to Pacquiao, Leonard said, "When I came back, I didn't realize it had been 5 years since I'd been in the ring. You've got to get used to being hit again, used to training at that elite level. It's more mental and psychological than physical. You need to have that heart, that fire." Do I question his age? Maybe. But maybe he knows exactly what he's doing. Fighters don't usually think about how risky it is. We just feel ready. I was ready and no one could change my mind. Meanwhile, Coach Justin Fortune believes fans shouldn't rule out the possibility of a Pacquiao victory, signaling that the boxing icon still has something left in the tank.
Coming out of retirement.
Well, Pacquiao's a big name, and obviously Barrios a great fight for Barrios because he's a champion, and I think Pacquiao, being that they both have connections with PPC, that's the easiest fight to make. So, they're getting another title opportunity. I just the name obviously, but I really believe that Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting. I think it's actually going to be a little. I don't want to say sad because he's going to make a lot of money, so we can't feel sorry for him. But at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for, I'm just 4 years older, 4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try when you're going to get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were when you were in your 20s and 30s.
You think it's impossible for him to beat Mario Barrios right now?
Well, it's not impossible because he has power. He should have that power. Barrios is big and a strong boy, so I don't see that happening. But is it possible? Anything's possible. George Foreman did it. There's been others that do it. But I really don't see it happening.
But Pacquiao's speed's the name of his game. Do you think?
Bob Arum has chosen not to criticize Manny Pacquiao's decision to return to the ring, but he did express serious concerns about the risks involved. "I can't say anything negative because Manny meant so much to us and our company," Arum said. "But it seems really questionable that at his age, he'd put himself at risk by facing a champion-level fighter. Even George Foreman was younger than Manny when he beat Michael Moorer, and George had stayed more active leading up to that fight. Manny hasn't been active at all, really. He's an incredible person. If anyone can pull it off, it's him, but I'm genuinely concerned about the combination of his age and inactivity. Still, I'll be rooting for him. He's a great guy, and has meant a lot to us." Meanwhile, trainer Robert Garcia also voiced his doubts, saying he believes Pacquiao's age will be a major factor, and that the fight may not be a good idea, though he understands why it was so easy to make.
I wish him all the best.
can he do it?
Can he do it? Absolutely. Manny Pacquiao's he's a legend. He's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy.
Juan Manuel Marquez doesn't believe this will be an easy fight for either man and refuses to count Manny Pacquiao out. "After 4 years of inactivity, we'll see how he comes back," Marquez said. Even after that knockout in 2012, he continued fighting and looked good, beating top-level opponents. Manny Pacquiao is a disciplined fighter who dedicates himself fully. This won't be an easy fight for anyone.
Very concerned. I don't want to stop anyone from making a living, from making money. But I'm very concerned with a guy, a great man, who's helped his people, who's fought for his people, who's lifted his people up, who's given away money to his people, probably too much. But he gave away money to his people, that is in a position now that he has to fight at 46 after 72 fights. I'm concerned. I just think you're playing with fire. That's all I think. Yeah, you can move around. You could move around. Navigate a little bit. Say this, say that. But there comes to a certain point with everything that no matter how much you move the furniture around, you still know what room you're in. You still know what room. You can't fool yourself. And he's in a room where he's 46 years old with 72 fights.
Teddy Atlas doesn't believe Manny can overcome the reality that he's 46 years old and competing in a young man's sport.
Ring, what do you make of it?
Well, one, I hope he doesn't get hurt. I think there's every chance he could do. Secondly, I think how has he got to a world title shot? 5th in the world, imagine if he was number 1 and 2 in the division and trained all your life to get there, and then Manny comes in after being retired 5 years and whatever it is, and goes into number 5 in the division.
Eddie Hearn believes this fight is completely misguided and feels Manny Pacquiao has no business competing for a world title after such a long layoff. He bluntly stated, "He'll never beat Barrios in a million years. I don't even rate Barrios that highly, but still." Hearn added that if Pacquiao came back and scored a significant win in the boxing world, then sure, he'd consider matching him with his fighters, especially if he became WBC champion. But in his view, that's unlikely. He won't win, and he shouldn't be fighting, especially not for a world title, Hearn said. Still, he made it clear he's not going to take a moral high ground and blacklist Pacquiao entirely, saying, "I'm not going to sit here and say, it's disgraceful that he fought Barrios, so none of my fighters will face him." Meanwhile, Ricky Hatton expressed concern, not just for Manny's well-being, but also for the fairness of the situation. He's worried about the fighters who have been patiently waiting for their shot at the title, only to see Pacquiao leapfrog the line.
I'm sure.
Manny's a legend, and big props to him, and I think we had off to him for stepping up to fight a young, hungry, prime world champion like Barrios. That's tough. I gotta say, when it comes to the boxing fight, I gotta pick Barrios. He's in his prime. He's a solid world champ. Way younger than Manny. Years ago.
Terrence Crawford has shown nothing but respect for Manny Pacquiao, refusing to doubt the legend's capabilities despite his age. Crawford stated, "I can't say if he's too old or not. If he gets in there and wins, then everybody will be saying differently. So I don't put no limit on an all-time great like Manny Pacquiao." Meanwhile, Amir Khan expressed his support for Mario Barrios, saying he deserves the opportunity more than anyone else and highlighting the significance of the bout. "It's a fantastic fight for Mario. He needs that big fight. He'll be paid well and fighting a legend like Manny Pacquiao. Who would say no to that? Mario deserves this fight because every fighter wants that big payday. It will be fantastic for him," Khan said. Reflecting on their time training together, Khan noted Barrios' skill in the ring and raised questions about Pacquiao's readiness after a long layoff. "If they were both in their prime, I'd pick Manny all day, but this could be tricky for him. Has he still got the fire? Barrios will come to win because it's a life-changing opportunity." Khan also touched on Pacquiao's political career, suggesting he doesn't need to return to boxing, but might miss the spotlight. He concluded that fans will still show up to watch him fight. Mikey Garcia, who has sparred with Pacquiao, also has his own insights on the matchup.
Well, before I even talk about the fight, it seems that boxing has changed because this guy's been retired for what, 3 or 4 years?
What's the last fight, Thurman?
Yeah.
Well, he's 46 years old.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that he's done nothing.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I don't understand why he's even fighting for him. No, I mean, he's been ranked. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's fighting a world champion from boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not fighting some guy like Conor was a whole different breed. He was just the number one guy in UFC. So, but no, I mean, the thing is that he's done nothing to actually be fighting for a world title, other than just his name and what he's done in his past.
We'll say, don't you think someone of his stature is
I
legendary?
said fighting right now. That's fighting to try to get to that number one spot, and basically you have a guy that hasn't fought in I don't know how many years, just jumps up and take your spot, and it may win a title.
But we see that all the time, right? Some guy wins.
Needless to say, Jeff Mayweather isn't too pleased about Manny Pacquiao jumping the line to get a shot at the world title.